What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, live for a little bit of fantasy football. Getting into fantasy season. It's now entering the middle of August, so you guys are probably right around the corner from your drafts, or at least a couple weeks away. You're prepping for your drafts. So I thought, why not go live here, have some fun, do a best ball draft on Underdog Fantasy, and utilize it. How I utilize it typically is as a mock draft for my home leagues. So that's what we're going to do today. You're going to watch me draft. I'll give you some tips, answer any questions you guys have about fantasy this season, players to target, players to stay away from, whatever you guys want to ask in the comments. And if you guys do want to do mock drafts with me, I will only be doing them on Underdog because, quite honestly, guys, I only do mock drafts on Underdog. I only do drafts on Underdog until my actual drafts begin. So to sign up for Underdog right now, use the code BLV. Head over to Underdog. Link is in the description right now. So their offer, pretty cool offer right now. If you use the code BLV, you get a free $25 with your first deposit. And this draft that I'm going to be running today is the Puppy 2. This is a $5 entry draft. And best ball, how it works, you never set your lineup. So all season, you just enter a bunch of these things. That's exactly what I do. Never have to set your lineup, and you win at the end of the day if you do well. So $5 entry, and you could get 5 of these for free. And the reason I use these as mock drafts is because, to me, it's the best way to mock draft. Because these people, when you're putting $5 in, you're not going to leave your draft. Like when you go to ESPN or Yahoo, nothing against them. When you go to their sites, people are going to leave in the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round. Like, that's not going to happen on Underdog. That's exactly why I utilize this as a mock draft. So let's get into it. Make sure you do click that link in the description. First time deposit again, guys, $25. Use the code BLV. All right. So let's share that screen, and let's get over to this draft. I'm going to have to get over and enter this draft real quick. So let me know how you guys feel about fantasy this season. Let me know who your favorite targets are, who your least favorite targets are, and as soon as this draft starts, I'll show my screen and we'll get all of my picks live here. All right, so let's see who's in the chat. So if you guys are in the chat, let me know. If you haven't already, make sure you do Gronk spike that like button. All right, we have Deshaun in the chat. What's going on, bro? James is in the chat. He says, oh, hey. Monty says Bateman all day. I like that one. The sleeper is Heisman, says Deshaun. Ya boy. Bateman is hurt. Yeah, he got hurt. But I don't know how long. I think it's going to be for a couple of weeks, but for sure, I'm a fan of Bateman as well. I think he's going to have a big rookie season. CK Sports says, hello, Mitch. What's going on, bro? Isaac says, what up? What's going on, Isaac? Gonna target DK for sure. DK has a chance to be the #1 receiver in fantasy this year, I think, for sure. I had him last year on one of my teams, a couple of my teams, actually. I was happy about that, that's for sure. But this year, you're having to pay a little bit more of a premium price for him, so you definitely have to be a believer in that offense. GSP says, hey, Mitch, I need your help. I have 4 receivers, D-Hop, A.J. Brown, Amari Cooper, Mike Evans, but I only have 1 good running back, Zeke. Who should I trade, and who should I trade for? What type of league are you in? Are you in a PPR league? Because having 4 of these guys isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you're in a full PPR league where you can start all 4 players, and the draft is about to start now, so I'll show my screen, then having those 4 studs is totally like a good idea. So honestly, if you have 2 running backs that you're starting, one Zeke and one's another guy, I would not necessarily trade until we get into the season and maybe you're a little light at running back, then I'd look to trade. But guys, I'd never recommend to trade right after your draft. I'd never recommend to trade early in the season before you've gotten started. That for sure would not be my way of doing things. All right, here we go. So I think I'm going to stay on this side over here. I think that's probably better. And I'll show you my teams when I have a chance, but I'm just going to stick in this little corner here so you can see the draft board and you can see the top. So let's do it. I have pick number 8, my favorite number. So I feel like this is gonna be a good time. But guys, again, before we do get started, make sure you head over to Underdog Fantasy. And when you do sign up, let me know. Get in the Discord, let me know, and we can start to do some mock drafts on Underdog. Technically, they're not mock drafts, they're best ball drafts, but I know a lot of people see them that way. So, let's go. I'm at the 1-8. If I'm being honest with you, right now, my number one strategy when I'm this far deep in the first round, I'm just hoping Saquon falls to me every single time. Because I know that everybody is fading Saquon right now because of his injuries. But if you can get Saquon Barkley, who's arguably the most talented running back in the NFL, late in the first round when he was going at number 1, number 2 last year, the last 2 years, I don't care about the injuries. In order to win your league, you need to take chances. And Saquon is one of 2 or 3 running backs who can actually finish as the number 1 player in fantasy. So to me, that would be my pick if he's there. It looks like Zeke is still there. This guy's probably going to go with Zeke or Kelsey probably. I'm surprised. Sometimes Kelsey goes there. There he went right there. Kelsey goes pretty early. So we have Zeke or Saquon. And guys, honestly, I know everybody likes Zeke. I'm going with Saquon. That's my guy. I'm going with Saquon. I don't care about the injuries. I think he's going to be back. I think he's going to be healthy. And he's just too good. Zeke, I'm worried about. He's gotten worse and worse and worse with every single season in his career. And even though the Cowboys offense is dynamic, it's awesome. I love that offense. It's primarily a passing offense. Zeke will get his, but I just don't see Zeke being what he was like 2, 3, 4 years ago. I just think his athleticism has deteriorated a little bit. So I'm not a big fan of him. I know a lot of people have him in their top 3, top 4. He's not my guy personally. I probably won't be drafting him this year unless, it is around, like, that's good value for him, like the 9th pick. That's good value for him. If he falls into the 9 to 12 range, then I'd consider him, but I wouldn't pick him with the top 5 pick personally. Steeler Nation says, Mitch, are you getting Madden 22 for PS5 or PS4? I'm getting it on the 20th for PS5. I'm getting it for the PS5. I own a PS5, and my league loyal will be on PS5, which I might do some streaming. So I have my second pick here. We have the choice of, this is interesting, Antonio Gibson, DK Metcalf, Joe Mixon, AJ Brown, Najee Harris. So this one's tough. I really like Gibson and Mixon quite a bit. I do see them as like running back ones, top 12 guys. And because they're still there, I'm willing to take them here. So I'm going to take Gibson. Usually I don't go back-to-back running back. But I do like Antonio Gibson quite a bit in his offense. With Turner there, they're going to spam the running back out of the backfield. And I feel he's, especially in PPR, he's a good pick. I feel like Gibson should be going on the turn. So to get him at the 2-5 instead of like the 112 or the first or second pick in the second round, I think that's pretty quality in my opinion. So to get 2 guys that could finish as a RB1, I'll always be happy with, to be honest with you. So now I can shift my attention. I'm going to leave running back alone, which is kind of a good thing. So I'm going to turn my attention to the wide receiver position, to possibly a tight end in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. Personally, sometimes I'll take a chance on Waller, Kittle, or Kelsey. I usually never pick Kelsey. I'm not willing to pick a tight end in the first round, but I'll pick Waller or Kittle in the 2nd or 3rd. But it depends where you really pick, right? So my first 2 picks, Saquon and Antonio Gibson, feeling pretty good. 2 guys that I think will have big years. Eckler, I think, Eckler I'm huge on. I think Eckler's a first-round pick. I think Eckler's going to have a huge year, especially if you're in PPR leagues. Now, this best ball here on Underdog is half PPR, so it's slightly different. So a guy like Eckler might not be valued to the same degree as he would be in a full PPR league, but that's you got to be able to adjust a little bit because Eckler is more so of a pass catcher than a true runner, so to speak. So we're entering the 3rd round here. If you guys haven't already, make sure you do Gronk spike that like button. Durkan asks, so when are you mocking with us? We do that every day. I typically do a draft once every 2 days-ish type of thing right now, and I'll probably end up ramping that up to it every single day. But I've decided I'm only doing drafts on Underdog, Durkan. Like, that's the only place I actually do drafts, period. So, like, I'm not going to change my ways for you guys. You're going to have to change your ways for me. I'm not even going to lie. So, if you want to do a mock draft with me, we got to do it on Underdog. If not, then just wait for the BLV League to begin. But now, in the third round, 3-8, we have probably going to go with a receiver here, no doubt. And we still have Patrick Mahomes as QB1. He's still on the board. I'm not going to take Patrick Mahomes. Personally, I'm not a big fan of taking Patrick Mahomes this year just because I don't see him being much better than the other guys that are below him that cost less. So I have 2 running backs. I'm going to shift from the running back position, go to the wide receiver position. Top guy on the board right now is Mike Evans. Personally, I feel like Mike Evans is just a really, really safe pick, especially in half PPR. He's going to score 10-plus touchdowns. We know he's going to have 1,000 yards. So with, taking Saquon and Gibson, not exactly the safest picks with my first 2 rounds, Mike Evans is about as safe as it gets. And I feel like Tom Brady is going to throw 50 touchdowns this year. I've said it. I'll say it again. Maybe that's bold. But I think he's going to shred the entire NFL. And I think Mike Evans will be his leading receiver, so I like him in the third round. I honestly feel like this is the first year he hasn't gone in the second round in a long time, so I like Mike Evans in the late third. Fourth round, we're going to go with another wide receiver, most likely. You know, it would be interesting if we went with the Tampa Bay stack of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. That was a really, really rewarding strategy in the 2 years ago with Jameis Winston. And I knew guys that did that, and they went to the finals. Obviously, Chris Godwin was going a little bit later, so it was easier to do. But this year, man, with where they're going, if you really believe in Tom Brady and the Bucs, I mean, I don't think that's an awful strategy at all. I've actually done it a couple times already in best ball, because, if you hit on an offense in this format all season, you're going to be one of the top guys. But we also have Julio there, who's, as long as he's healthy, he should be a stud. DJ Moore is kind of a sleeper, but I think there's kind of a tier break after DJ Moore. I don't see Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Adam Thielen in the Chris Godwin, Julio, DJ Moore type of sphere. So hopefully we can get these guys here. I wouldn't mind DJ Moore. DJ Moore's kind of slept on as well. Julio. Oh, so it looks like we're going to get Julio. I'm cool with that. Julio's a little bit older, but I'm willing to take him in the fourth round, certainly. Lot of upside. He's probably, other than AB, the best receiver of the 2010s, and other than last season, has stayed relatively healthy. Plus, it's a funnel in that offense. It's A.J. Brown and it's Julio Jones, and nobody else is really catching the ball. So he should see at least 80 catches this year, maybe more, and at least 1,000 yards at the very least. So, and I think the Titans' offense is still pretty good. They probably will actually pass the ball more, to be honest. So, I like Julio there. Yeah, I don't agree with you guys with Saquon. I think Saquon is due for a bounce back year. I don't see him getting hurt 2 years in a row, to be honest. I just don't think that's the way things trend, to be honest. Like, if you probably stack that up over the course of time, I don't think that's the way it is. So now I'm going to open up my board to any position, and let's just see what happens. So, you know what's crazy? I really feel like Miles Sanders is being underdrafted where he is at. Like, he's running back 20 on here. That feels too low. Like, last year he was going in the first 2 rounds easily. And he's a talented player. They have a good offensive line. I know their team isn't very good. But, like, how many other weapons are going to take touches away from him? He just seems like the clear guy. So he might be a little bit of a sleeper right now, to be honest. Just because people are a little bit damaged from last year. Trav says, I hate to see Ayuk's ADP fly up so high. I love him. No, you know what the thing with Ayuk is? I like him more in real life than I like him in fantasy. Because if Trey Lance is the quarterback, or even Jimmy G, neither of them are going to throw the ball a lot. This is a run-heavy offense. Yes, he is the number one target, arguably. I mean, Kittle could be that. So they have three guys that are kind of fighting over targets. So, and it's not a pass-heavy offense. It's going to be a run-heavy offense. So I honestly feel like, yes, Ayuk could be an absolute stud just by on efficiency alone, but you're not really banking on a ton of targets if you're into Ayuk. You're more banking on just pure talent, to be honest with you. So that's the way I look at it. I'm not really into any of these running backs at the moment, so I'm probably going to go back to receiver. And quite honestly, Robbie Anderson looks pretty attractive at this spot. So I'm going to take Robbie Anderson. The thing I like about Robbie Anderson this year is they got rid of Curtis Samuel, so that opens up more targets for him. It's his second year in the offense, and Sam Darnold was with the Jets and had a rapport with Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson was very underrated last year, just a very consistent player, and I do feel like the Panthers offense will be better this year. So I like Robbie Anderson as a wide receiver 3. I'll certainly take that. Because he's definitely worth, he could have big boom games, but he's also pretty consistent. So I'll take Robbie Anderson in the 5th. Right now I'm kind of staying away from Kenny Golladay. I didn't even really consider quarterbacks, to be honest with you. I know a couple people saying Kyler. I'm not in love with Kyler the way other people are. I guess he's a better fantasy guy than he is actually in real life. I'll certainly say that. But it is what it is. So, like, Josh Allen, I think, he went slightly ahead of Kyler. I guess that's, where they would go. That's where they are going, I should say. Dak, I think, is sliding a little bit because of his injuries. But honestly, like, I don't even draft quarterbacks early at all. Like, I know some people this year are saying, like, that's the meta to go with a guy a little bit earlier. But, bro, like, you can get all these guys down here for nothing, to be honest with you. So, what about Patrick Peterson? He doesn't play wide receiver, so I can't pick him, unfortunately. All right, so right now my team is, let's just move my face if I can. So my team is right now Mike Evans, Julio, Robbie Anderson, Saquon, and Antonio Gibson. So this is the 6th round. We have Mike Davis, Kareem Hunt, Javonte Williams is interesting, Tyler Boyd, Mike Williams, Cortland Sutton, Trey Sermon. Let's just take a look at these running backs real quick. I think I'm going to pass one more round on running back. I think I'm going to go with my guy, Tyler Boyd. I'm going to go with Tyler Boyd. I just think Tyler Boyd, he's not exactly, flashy or anything, but he could very well lead the Bengals in receptions. So I like that about Tyler Boyd. So I got 4 receivers now, and I got 2 running backs. So we're going to come back in the 7th round and probably take another running back. Dak just went at the 6'9". What's going on, Monty? Monty says, pick Rashad Bateman, Amari Rodgers, or Terrace Marshall Jr. Singh says, hi, Mitch. What's going on, Mr. Singh? How you doing, bro? Jerry Jeudy says, Tam. I like Jerry Jeudy this year. I like him a lot. Okay, I'm looking at these. I like Mike Williams, too. I'll probably talk about him in a couple videos. I like Mike Williams. I like AB. Obviously, I already have Mike Evans, though. So if I could get AB, though, I might take him because I might go with the Bucs stack if I can. And then I crossed out of my damn thing again. So let's go back here. Where are we? There we go. I get touchy on my computer. All right, 7-8. If you guys haven't already, Gronk spike that like button. Jeremy says fantasy football season. What's up, Lenny? What did I ignore you? Tam says, I like to have more running backs at this point of the draft. Personally, I guess that's your strategy. Personally, I don't, because of the hit rate in the mid rounds of wide receivers. The hit rate of wide receivers in the mid rounds is just so consistent. Plus, I feel like rounds, I know this might be a little bit contrarian, but I feel like rounds like 7 through like 12 actually have like 3 or 4 or 5 like sneaky running backs that I kind of like. Like let's just take a look. Like Javonte Williams is still there. Chase Edmonds still there. I like Chase Edmonds a lot. Damian Harris, I like. Michael Carter, I like. Those 4 guys, I like a ton. I like Ronald Jones. Even Raheem Mostert, I don't mind. Zach Moss, I like. So really after, like when I look at this board, I see kind of a drop-off after Zach Moss with like upside running backs. After that, Tony Pollard's kind of a handcuff. Melvin Gordon doesn't really have much of a ceiling, to be fair. I haven't picked James Conner once. I think the guy is terrible, so I'm never going to pick him. Gus Edwards, he's kind of like, I don't really see the, unless Dobbins gets hurt, I mean, that's kind of what you're banking on with that pick, so that's the way I look at it. Lenny says, Mitch, pass on all quarterbacks and just draft Mac Jones. Yes. All right. So what do we have here? So I think I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds because that's my guy. But we got DJ Chark, Will Fuller, Mecole Hardman. I like Chase Edmonds a lot, man. I like Chase Edmonds a lot. He is the best running back on the Cardinals by a freaking mile. The guy's a pass-catching machine. And he fits the mold of a breakout running back. He's an RB1 on a good offense. The offensive line improved. Kyler Murray's the quarterback. Like, if you're excited for Kyler Murray, D-Hop, but you're not excited for the leading running back, and you can get him in the 7th or 8th round, I don't know. I know he's small, but, like, James Conner is not good at football. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, I don't think he's good at all. Deshaun says Hunter Henry might not start the season for New England. Yes, he's going to start the season. He's just hurt right now. But apparently it's pretty minor, so they're probably just going to be pretty conservative with that. So they got Michael Thomas, Will Fuller. I'm not really into Will Fuller right now. I just not really am. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, this is best ball. Okay, I'm up again. Jarvis Landry, Jalen Waddle. We got James Robinson. Okay, this is interesting. What do we got at quarterback and tight end? I don't know if I'm really into. Should I take Raheem Mostert? I mean, he's a good best ball guy, I guess. Wide receivers. I want to get another back, so I'm going to go with Mostert if I can. Yes, I got him. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to get another running back. So I think we have 4 and 4 at this point. I wasn't really in love with any of the receivers. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Dolphins' offense. I know some people are. Personally, I'm not. Jarvis Landry is, I guess, a decent value, but you kind of know what you're getting. I think he's better. He's a better pick, I think, in actual drafts. Elijah Moore and Rashad Bateman certainly have a lot of upside, but I think you could probably get them in the next round because Rashad Bateman is hurt right now. And Elijah Moore, I do have my reservations about him. Tight end. Like, nobody really I love. I think I like Higbee more so than Goddard. But I don't really see a huge difference there. I might go after Brady with my next pick. We got the 9-8. That's my next pick. Lenny says, how do you feel about Trey Sermon? At how high he's being drafted and being a third option. I don't know about him. I assume he's their second option, but I do feel like you're right, though. You're the Niners fan, Lenny, so let me know how you feel and what the camp suggests. But I still think it's Mostert's backfield. So I'm a little bit surprised at how high Trey Sermon is going. But Raheem Mostert is one of the fastest human beings on planet Earth. And he was an absolute terror last year and the year before when he was healthy. The problem with him is health. So I think what people are banking on is that Trey Sermon, eventually Raheem Mostert will get nicked up, and then Trey Sermon will come in and he'll be the lead horse. Personally, I don't see him being more talented than Raheem Mostert. I really don't. I think he's a compliment, and I think that's good, but I think at his price, it's a little risky. I'd rather go with the guy like Michael Carter from the Jets, who is the most talented running back in his backfield. His offensive line is better than people think, and he is, pretty talented, more talented to me than Trey Sermon. So that would be like, I'd rather go with a Michael Carter than a Trey Sermon just because of the backfield in San Francisco. Although they're a great running game, it's a little bit, discombobulated. I don't really know what to make of it. I'm not picking Tua. I don't care. I know people keep saying, the steal of the draft is Tua. Give me a break. Tua's not good. I'm sorry, guys. Tua's not good. Everyone wants to believe Tua is not good. I will continue to say that. What about David Johnson? I have not drafted David Johnson once. Not once. Tom Brady, Rashad Bateman, Corey Davis, Zach Moss. I like all of these guys right here on the board. I like Ronald Jones. I like Higbee. I like Brady. I like Bateman. I like Corey Davis, actually. And I like Zach Moss. I don't even mind Marvin Jones. So I think what I'm going to do here... What is the status of Bateman? Expected to miss multiple weeks. Damn. That hurts my face. So for now, we're just going to skip him. And I think it's going to give me Ronald Jones. And that's who I would have picked anyways. So now we've got 5 backs. So now I'm probably just going to quit drafting running backs. I like Ronald Jones. I think he's the best running back in Tampa Bay. He had 1,000 yards last year nearly, and I think he could do that again. I know some people are concerned about Fournette. But what actually I think Gio Bernard does for the Bucs is it allows Ronald Jones to play more because Leonard Fournette was in there because he was a pass catcher. But because Leonard Fournette doesn't have that pass-catching role anymore, which he wasn't even that good at, I think Ronald Jones ends up getting more carries. So just like last year, I like Ronald Jones again this year, especially in best ball, because you don't have to focus on starting him week to week. You can just get the big splash games when they happen, and to get the lead back on, in my opinion, the best offense in the NFL in the 9th round is not a bad idea. So we got the 10-5 here. So I'm going to go with the quarterback. If it's Brady, I'll be pumped, but it's not Brady. Okay, so I'll skip. I'll probably go with the quarterback next round then. Let's see tight end. Noah Fant there. Robert Tonyan, not super pumped about that. Wide receiver. I like Gabriel Davis quite a bit. I'll go with Gabriel Davis on this one. So Gabriel Davis is probably going to be the number 2 receiver. Especially in best ball, I like Gabriel Davis because I think he has some upside. But there is also Terrace Marshall Jr., who's like the 3rd receiver. Traquan Smith, who I just don't think is very good. Nelson Aguilar. I think I like Myers more as a Patriots fan personally. Tony Pollard was there. I'm not a big Jalen Hurts guy. I know some people are, because of his rushing upside. I'll probably end up going with Stafford in next round. Singh says, have you drafted Brady before? Yeah, I draft Brady a ton this offseason. He's probably been my most drafted quarterback. Not because I'm a Brady fan, although I am, because I think he's going to have an absolutely huge year, and I think he's being underdrafted. I think they have the best offense in the league, and I think he might win the MVP. So next pick is the 11-8. What's good, Coach P? Yeah, I like Terrace a lot as a player. And some people are starting to build him up as a fantasy hype beast because they did have, I think, around 3 1,000-yard type receivers last year. So now all the quarterbacks are starting to go, it looks like. Tight end I've pretty much passed on. I might look to get Jonnu Smith here real quick. So I'm rather going to go with Stafford or Jonnu Smith. So whoever gets picked is just going to dictate what happens. Gesicki's an interesting one. I feel like he could rather be a massive steal or a massive disappointment. Who from BLV is in this draft? Just me. Just me. We didn't have time. But next time, if you guys join Underdog Fantasy, hit me up in Discord. And then I'll be able to get you in. All right? So let me know. I feel like there's just too many targets in Miami for Gesicki to be like really impactful. But he is a good player. So, all right. So Stafford went. Fields is there. I think I'm going to reach a little bit for Jonnu because I know he's not going to come back. So I'm picking Jonnu Smith. 11th round. Jonnu Smith's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy. He's lighting up the camp right now. He's getting handoffs. He's getting catches. He's scoring touchdowns. No, Stafford didn't fall, unfortunately, but I did want Stafford. Okay, let's check the rest of the board out. I'll end up picking 3 or 4 quarterbacks anyways, guys. So usually if I don't get a quarterback, earlier, I'll stock up a bunch. It just so happens that this guy picked 5 quarterbacks already, so that's the way it goes sometimes in these drafts. This guy beside me's picked 0 too, so. Oh, I'm up. All right. Traquan's still there. You know what? I haven't drafted Justin Fields. Why not? Why not? Let's go with Justin Fields. Why not? I haven't drafted him at all, so. And I probably won't draft him in my leagues. But if those people about him are right, why not? He'll probably end up be starting by week 3, so why not? What's going on, Jason? Sean says draft James White. Isaac says it's 2 a time, 50 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Nice. Hey, how come we have 23 people in here, but we only have 14 likes? What's up with that? Tua stinks. Done with him. Done with the hype. David Johnson, Cole Beasley, Gerald Everett, Nyheim Hines, Devin Singletary. Like, these running backs are gross. AJ Green, Baker, Marquise Callaway might be a decent pick. He just went. Gronk, Sammy Watkins, Paris Campbell, J.D. McKissick, John Brown, Christian Kirk, Jamison Crowder. James White's way down there. Gio Bernard. I might go back to quarterback again. Evan Ingram. How do people feel about Gerald Everett? I really don't hear anyone talk about Gerald Everett at all. Oops. You took Beasley in the later rounds. Hopefully he still plays this year. Isn't Cook tight end 1? Yes, he is. Are people overthinking it? Let's see, is Baker there? No, Baker went. Boo! Everybody's taking my quarterbacks, bro. All right, let's take Let's take Danny Dimes. Why not? Okay, I'll pick a third quarterback later. I'm not sure. I've been like, with the Giants, I've been up and down constantly with them. I've been like, 1 week I'm a fan of them, and then the next week, like, I'm not a fan of them. And I don't know where I'm going to end up coming to. What's up, Dried Ocean? What's going on? What's your question? In best ball, is there a limit to how many players per position? I don't think so. No. So this is how it works. So your best guys, like, so I think the way that this is on Underdog is 1 quarterback, 2 running backs. I think it's 2 receivers. I'd have to look. I think there's a flex and 2 receivers, I think. But it might be 3 receivers, to be honest. I'll check. But basically, your best guys play. So 1 week it could be Daniel Jones. 1 week it could be Justin Fields, like, for example. So the guy with the most points goes in your lineup. All right, T.Y. Hilton, Gronk, Kirk, Crowder, Rashad Penny, John Brown, Damian Williams. Okay, I'm not. I could pick Carr here. Let's go with Jared Cook. Somebody said Jared Cook. Why not? Let's go with Jared Cook. Somebody said Jared Cook in the chat. So we'll do you guys a favor. We'll go with Jared Cook. Yeah, Cam Newton is a pretty massive steal right now. Okay, I think it will say right here, won't it? Yeah. Okay. So this is it right here, the Puppy 2, guys. When you sign up, you can play this 5 times for free. If you just put in the code BLV, 5 times for free, you could play the Puppy 2. First place gets a 100K. So this is the roster. I thought it was 3 receivers. So quarterback, 3 receivers, 1 flex, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and 10 bench spots. What I also like about Underdog and best ball drafts in general is that for mocking, you get to mock more players because there's more rounds. So you have more of a familiarity of the players going at the very end of drafts. So you get to look at those deep sleepers more often. I might even pick Hunter Henry here. You know who I really like deep in the draft at tight end? We'll get to that a little bit later, but when that comes up, I think I might have to go with another quarterback though, but my guy Cam is usually there pretty early. What about Taysom? You know, if I'm hyping up Taysom as my guy for the Saints, if Taysom was the starting quarterback of the Saints, he'd instantly be a top 12 quarterback in fantasy. Because the guy would be running for like 700 yards, like 8 to 10 touchdowns. GSP says, hey Mitch, I got a question. How come you rag on Tua for having 2 bad games, yet you defend Newton for sucking? Because everybody, this is the main reason why. Without going into details, which I've made many videos already about Cam Newton. So go check those videos out. The main reason is because, for whatever reason, everybody hates Cam Newton, despite him being an absolute legend. And everybody loves Tua, despite doing absolutely nothing. So that's the main reason. Main reason. We got James White, Tyrell Williams, Gio Bernard, Philip Lindsay, Sam Darnold. I do have Robbie Anderson, so that might not be a bad idea, to be honest. Taysom, Kadarius Toney. I'll probably pick Cam here. What we got? We also got Hunter Henry. Sure, let's go with Hunter Henry. Stack the tight ends! Stack them! My phone is buzzing like crazy. What do you mean biased? Everybody hates Cam. Everybody loves Tua. What is so wrong about that? What in my honest opinion, Dylan, I'm always honest. Rule number 1, I'm always honest. Daniel Jones will have his best statistical season of his career, but I don't know if that will actually translate to great quarterback play, if that makes sense. I think that's kind of the way that I see it. I'm just really worried about their offensive line. Like, the reports out of camp are scary about him. I'm no, in terms of their offensive line, sorry, not in terms of their quarterback. All right, we're gonna get Cam right here. Isaac, I doubt that happens. Okay, I think we got 2 rounds left. Cam is the pick. All right. Now we're just going to go running back, receiver, tight end. Best players at these positions. I've got, I think, 5 running backs, 5 receivers, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, and 3 quarterbacks. I think I have 3 tight ends, so I might just go running back and receiver then. I heard about Jerick McKinnon. Are there any Chiefs fans in here? I've heard Jerick McKinnon has a role in the offense. Is that true? Darrington Evans is the backup to Derrick Henry if you're looking for a handcuff. Boston Scott. P. Ryan is the backup to Mixon, I believe. N'Keal climbing the board. N'Keal. That's hilarious. No, he won't. Only one of them's going to the playoffs, sports fan. Only one of them. I just don't know if he'll have protection, Dylan. From what I've heard, it hasn't been pretty. I'm not picking Watson. I don't care what round he goes in. I'm not picking that guy. Plus, he's not going to play this year, so I'm not picking him. 17-8. Now these are the bums right here. This is Bumville. We got Demarcus Robinson's kind of interesting because I know people think Hardman is like their number 2 receiver. I guess he kind of is, but he hasn't been very good. So I don't know. Who do we like at wide receiver here, guys? Josh Palmer, I kind of like. Actually, Travis Fulgham's interesting, I guess. What about Renfro, Lenny? What about your boy Renfro? Scotty Miller. Slayton? Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of Giants, I feel like. So, just Giant stack. Just a Giant stack. I don't know if that's the best stack in the world, but why not? I like Darius Slayton. Okay. Switch screens. So right now, my team. Quarterback Fields, Jones, Newton. Running back Barkley, Gibson, Edmonds, Mostert, Jones. Wide receiver Evans, Julio, Robbie Anderson, Boyd, Gabriel Davis, Darius Slayton. Tight end Jonnu, Jared Cook, Hunter Henry. Mims. What is with you guys and all the New York players? Are you guys from New York? Richie James Jr. Why are they sleeping on him? Wow, Jalen Hurd, I think, is ranked ahead of him. I think Palmer went. Maybe Boston Scott's not a bad pick. I like this Olesen kid too. I'm going to pick him because he's the second running back on Atlanta's depth chart, and I'm not sure if Mike Davis will keep the job. So I'm going to go with him. Last pick. There we go. Darrell Williams. All right, guys, that's the draft. So, again, let's head over to my cam. If you haven't already, Gronk, spike that like button. I will let you know where you can draft where I just draft, which is on Underdog Fantasy, guys. So right now on Underdog, if you sign up and make your first deposit with the promo code BLV, you will get a free, I'm talking free, FREE, $25. That tournament I just played in, which the first place, $100K, all right, there's $500K in prizes. It goes down to like in the thousands of people that win, okay, over $5. So if you're good at fantasy, you want to test your skills, $5 entry. You could get 5 of these for free if you just use the code BLV on Underdog. So don't forget to sign up, guys. Thanks for joining me here live for another mock draft. We'll do probably one a week for the next couple of weeks, gearing up to fantasy drafts and throughout the preseason. I'm also going to be posting some fantasy videos. If you guys haven't already, make sure you check out my Patreon for exclusive fantasy tips. It's Mitch. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.